2 years ago, I'm driving, actually delivering. I was working as a delivery driver. This is a job that paid way less than what I used to do when I was running my business. And as I was driving, I was thinking to myself, how the hell did I get here? You see, I'd spent about 12 years building my business. I used to have a wellness company. I had like 2 gyms, hundreds of clients, and corporate clients. And it was actually really, really fun watching my clients go through the process. Definitely my team and I were changing lives, and it's such an amazing feeling. It was all good then. Then 2020 happens, and everything just kind of come crashing down. Around the same time too, I come home. I always look at the wall. I have a couple of my guitars just hanging there, some on the ground, and I for 20 years I just keep walking and passing that by, just looking at them and not touching them. Then I realized I actually walked away from my music too, not just my business, but my music. So my career, my music, pretty much everything that I worked for the last 20 years, all of it gone. This channel is about getting it all back, and I want you to come with me. If you're a Gen X who grew up with Nirvana, Pearl Jam, maybe even some Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, into the metal side part of it, and you built a career also, or you built a business, and somewhere along the way you kind of lost everything, or lost some of it, or part of you disappeared, you're in the right channel. Let me tell you my story. See, I got into fitness and wellness pretty much for myself. I love training. I love working out. And then when we moved here in San Diego, around 2010, I find myself like training people because I spend pretty much all my time in the gym. And I end up opening up my studio. And then I opened up a gym and 2 of them. And then I started doing corporate wellness. It was actually really, really fun. And it's one of my favorite things. I'm so passionate about helping people when it comes to fitness, physical training, because of the reps, kind of like how I learned how to play guitar. You just got to put your reps in. When I was building my gym, at its peak, we have about a few hundred clients, and I had a great team. I was gonna open multiple locations, but I had 2 of them, and it was at that point I was like, this is a lot enough. This is enough on my plate, so I'm just gonna keep doing this. And it took in a couple of corporate clients. Now, while I was building this, I realized that I haven't been playing music, so I kind of put that aside. But way back then, when I was still in Midwest, I used to be in a band. We used to, for about 10 years, I was doing, we're gigging just like some local dive bars. We get paid on the weekend. We work, and then on the weekend we'll play 2 or 3 nights, which is actually really, really fun. My buddies and I, we'll get paid like $1,200 for the weekend. We split it. And it's a good side gig. We learned tons of... So with that, I have my creative side. And then after moving here in San Diego, I went through my entrepreneurial side, which is I really, really love building a business. It's just because it's kind of the same pattern when you're working out. Like the more you put into it, the more it grows. I won't get into every detail, but because we have a few more videos I'm going to create in the future. And this is my first time creating a video, so I'm still learning how to edit and put things together. So if the sound's not good, in the video, I'm still just learning this. But I'll get better at this. Like everything else, I'm gonna put my reps in it. With that, my business starts getting harder. I was working 15 hours a day, pretty much no time for family, and I just had my daughter. And then with that, I ended up closing one of my locations around 2018, and then 2020 hits here in California. It was hard for me to recover. With the lockdown, pretty much all the cancellation in my account, and for me, instead of I tried to held on to it, and I thought I could still do what I had to do to keep running it, but everything starts hitting you. You feel like you're working hard, but nothing's coming in, so you feel defeated. And instead of taking time to rebuild, I went ahead and just closed the business. I took a 9-to-5 job. Now, I want to be clear, there's nothing wrong with 9-to-5 job. I used to have a 9-to-5 job before I opened my business. I really, really enjoyed it. But when I started learning business, I fell in love with the process. I wasn't building anything anymore. I wasn't producing anything, and for me, I think part of my soul is just kind of like dying. And I looked at my guitar in the corner, and I decided to pick it up. So with that, I started strumming. It's been a while, because I would pick up the guitar maybe once a month or maybe once every 3 months. But I know that I can still play. It's just like I'm super rusty. There's a feeling of like, it's hard to say. It's like you feel miserable because you're not producing anything anymore, and that part of you is just dying, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And I lived that for the last 2 years. Here's the thing about Gen X that nobody talks about. We came from an era where we don't have cell phones, we don't have social media, which is actually great because every mistake that we did or every stupid stuff we did never got recorded. We are the generation who pretty much, we're a latchkey generation. We learn things for ourselves. We create things. We go out. We figure out we figure out things to play, right? Like we play with a stick, or we play with a can, or we play with a whatever we can find. Jump rope, everything. That's what we did. We didn't have all this. We didn't have all this electronics, right? And we just we come home sometimes at when it's dark, right? And our parents never cared about us. So, well, I don't want to say not care about us, but it's more like if we come home, we come home. So we're left our own devices, and actually that's our superpower because we love to create, we love to build things. And now I'm starting to realize, looking back at my guitar, grabbing it again and playing it, I realized that I need to restart this again. I have to do it, and I have to restart my business again. So a couple of months ago, I was strumming my guitar, and I realized, you know what? I really enjoy playing it. I really enjoy relearning this again. Even though I'm rusty again, like I said, I really want to learn again, and I want to restart my business. So with that, I actually started my business again. Of course, I'm going to start small again. But right now, being at my age, I'm a little bit more patient. And with everything that I learned from the past, how to get clients, marketing, sales, those are my favorite things to do. And of course, with that, I'm going to start relearning some music, of course. So with all the loss that I had, probably a midlife crisis and everything like that, I'm close to my 50. I'm not going to say my age. Well, I am about 50. So with that in mind, I'm actually, I want to rebuild again. I want to start my business, at the same time play my music. And I really think the story is worth telling because I know it's not just me that's going through this. I know there's a lot of people my age right now who built something, built a career, built a business, and play an instrument, and suddenly it's gone. So here's what the channel is going to be all about. All right, I'm going to focus mostly talking about music because I love music from the 80s, even all the way from the 70s. What my father used to listen to, like Boston, Journey and stuff like that. I'm gonna bring it all back to my high school time. Pearl Jam, Nirvana, Metallica, Megadeth, like I said earlier, and of course Sepultura, whatever band that comes into our mind. I'm gonna be doing some music gear review. I'm probably gonna start with my guitar first, going through what the string I used to do. I remember I used to change string once a week when I used to play with my bands. Once a week, I changed the whole string. It's just become kind of it's a pretty expensive hobby back then. So I'm gonna do a full review. I'm gonna buy an item, a music item. I'm gonna show it to you. I'll do a review with them. Try out some products. As of course as I expand the studio, and also I might talk about just life, business. Like my wins and losses. And everything that kind of in between. And I want to hear from you too. So this is not just about me. This channel is about Gen X like us. I want you to put comment right here. What kind of instrument you used to play, what kind of hobby that you used to do, even if it's martial arts, even if it's pickleball, whatever sport you're in, put it in there. Music wise, instrument, type of music, please post below. I'm gonna read all of them. Like and then comment. We're gonna make this a community, Okay, and we're gonna support each other, and we're gonna build up to this. Now I'm here to tell you, because I've been a coach for about 12, 13 years of my life. I always tell people that if you don't think you have it in you to restart again, you do. You have the power to do it. So pick that guitar back up, instrument, whatever instrument, piano, and everything like that, and let's do this together. Okay? So please just like, subscribe, share this channel with Gen Xers like me, or like even like millennials, right? Who's like just kind of like struggling in their 40s. If they need support, this is gonna be the channel, and I'm gonna be here telling you my story, and I hope you follow me. And I'm excited about this, and I will see you later. The comeback is real.